If you've ever watched SpongeBob SquarePants, you might have found yourself daydreaming about moving to Bikini Bottom. Who wouldn't want to live in a colorful underwater town where jellyfish roam freely? The burgers are delicious, and everyone seems to be having a great time. But before you pack your bags and buy a pineapple-shaped house, let me burst your bubble. Living in Bikini Bottom would be a complete disaster. Beneath its whimsical charm lies a world that's absurdly chaotic, mind-numbingly inconvenient, and downright dangerous. Let's talk real estate. SpongeBob lives in a pineapple. Cute, right? But pineapples are not exactly the sturdiest materials for a home. What happens when it rots? Does he just move into another giant piece of fruit? Squidward's house is made of stone. Sounds better, except he's constantly dealing with SpongeBob and Patrick banging on it, turning his yard into a disaster zone, and even sneaking inside uninvited. Privacy? Non-existent. Don't even get me started on Patrick's living situation. A literal rock. No insulation, no plumbing, no furniture. Just a rock. This might be fine for a starfish, but for anyone else? Absolutely unlivable. Bikini Bottom's public infrastructure is a mess. The roads? Random dirt paths that lead to who knows where. Public transportation? A snail bus that's always late. The city planning makes zero sense, with random establishments popping up next to jellyfish fields or the middle of the ocean desert. Let's not forget the sheer number of disasters. Bikini Bottom experiences frequent boating accidents, jellyfish stampedes, and full-blown town destruction from SpongeBob's antics. Insurance rates must be astronomical, assuming insurance even exists in this chaotic place. The environmental hazards are unbearable. Life in Bikini Bottom is straight-up dangerous. First of all, you're living underwater, which sounds cool until you realize how many things can go wrong. SpongeBob makes jellyfishing look fun, but if you're not a sponge, prepare to be electrocuted every time you venture outside. Then there's Goo Lagoon. What even is that goo? Toxic sludge? Industrial waste? Whatever it is, people swim in it, and that can't be safe. Oh, and every now and then, a giant worm or sea monster shows up to wreak havoc. Imagine trying to go about your day while a leviathan is eating half the town. Bikini Bottom's residents may seem quirky on the surface, but spend enough time with them, and you'll realize they're downright strange. SpongeBob is annoyingly over-friendly and oblivious to boundaries. Patrick is lovable, but not the brightest bulb in the box. Squidward is a walking ball of misery who never hesitates to remind you how much he hates everything. Even the normal residents have issues. Mrs. Puff is perpetually stressed. Larry the Lobster is a narcissistic gym bro. Imagine trying to socialize in a town where everyone either irritates you, confuses you, or actively ruins your day. The food options are questionable. The Krabby Patty might be the pride of Bikini Bottom, but when it's the only food people ever seem to eat, you start to question the nutritional balance. No vegetables and no indication of a sustainable food supply. Chum is literally fish byproducts, so you're either eating junk food every day or risking food poisoning. The laws of physics don't apply. While the underwater setting might seem enchanting, it comes with some bizarre physics that are hard to ignore. Fires break out underwater. Characters can drown. Living in a world where the rules of nature change on a whim, how do you plan for anything when your environment can randomly defy logic? Perhaps the worst part of living in Bikini Bottom is the sheer monotony of it all. Patrick bums around, doing nothing. Plankton fails to steal the Krabby Patty formula. It's the same thing day in and day out, with no change or progression. Imagine living in a town where time loops endlessly and nothing ever really evolves. Best advice, stay on land. Bikini Bottom might be fun to watch on TV, but living there would be a nightmare. Between the noise, the terrible jobs, the hazardous environment, and the bizarre physics, it's a place best left to animated sea creatures. Next time you find yourself dreaming about moving into a pineapple under the sea, remember, it's better to watch SpongeBob and his friends deal with the chaos from the comfort of your couch. Life in Bikini Bottom? No thanks.